Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Panamero, President of the Finance Institute and Senior Vice President of Pivot Financial. I'm delighted that you took the time out of your busy day to join me here. On behalf of all of us at the Finance Institute and Pivot Financial, welcome. Welcome to your gateway to the profitable $136 billion factoring industry. I think you're really going to enjoy this online workshop because the Finance Institute is for non-financial people. Over the next 35 minutes or so, I am going to share some of the best content and valuable information that you're ever going to get about this lucrative multi-billion-dollar industry that is growing every year. An industry where our practitioners are called referral sources or cash flow consultants. Individuals just like you that have joined this dynamic industry with no prior knowledge, no experience, or special education, and today are earning the type of income they deserve by simply referring businesses that need money to grow or survive to our organization. And best of all, the tremendous amount of solid and pragmatic information you will gain from me during this short workshop, I am confident everyone will be able to use it to your advantage immediately after the workshop is over. So if you're the kind of person who has been seeking a new career, where you can leverage your professional skills, your experience, and your business contacts, if you're the kind of person who currently works for a company or has worked for a company that has customers that always pay late, if you're the kind of person who has been searching for a better career, a career that you can start part-time without sacrificing the security of your present job, I believe you'll find this workshop to be very exciting. And at the end of this workshop, you will be relieved to know that I'm not going to ask you to invest or risk 1 red cent of your own money to join our elite, professionally trained referral source cash flow consultant network. So please sit back and relax. Your financial future is about to change. Now, before I tell you a little bit about me and how I got here, I want you to know that I believe you'll gain extreme value from the information if you take good notes. If you have any questions, please use the live chat box feature to ask your questions, and I will endeavor to answer as many of your questions at the end of this workshop, time permitting. You can also email your questions to us at info@thetfi.com, and the email address is on the screen in front of you right now. So let me tell you a little bit about me and how I got here. But in the end, this is not about me. This is about you and how we can come together to work together to produce long-term results. My journey in the factoring industry started back in 1999. I was a marketing manager. It was on a Friday, and I was at work. I was called into the office and I was told that, Michael, we are making budget cuts and we no longer need you to come into work on Monday. Here's your severance pay. You have 5 minutes to clean out your desk, and we wish you all the best. I remember being escorted to my desk, leaving the office, sitting in my car in the parking lot, overcome with emotion, humiliated and very upset. My mind was racing about what am I going to do now? Absolutely disgraced and feeling sick inside, knowing that I now had to go home and tell my wife that I had just lost my job. We had recently celebrated our first anniversary and we were moving into a new home. I felt so used, taken advantage of. After putting in all that hard work over all those years, I thought I was doing a great job only to have the entire rug pulled out from under me. I remember everyone telling me, Mike, a job is not for life. It's part of the process, but you know, you never think that losing your job could ever happen to you. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Because some of you joining me here today may have been made redundant, forced out of work unexpectedly, and are seeking a new and credible opportunity, a fresh start. Maybe some of you joining me here presently have a job. Maybe your life is great and you believe you'll continue doing great, and I understand that. You don't really have to make a change, but you're here because you just want something more. And you realize that learning to diversify your skills, having more lines in the water is the right thing to do. To those people, I say you're smart. Gone are the employer-employee loyalties that existed in the past, and here's what I know. Everyone can be replaced because it's happened to me. It's happened to my spouse, it's happened to many people that I know, and it's happened to many people that have joined our professionally trained referral source cash flow consultant network. In my opinion, everyone needs to have a plan B, an insurance policy, so to speak, in the event something does happen. By the end of this workshop, I am confident that all of you will discover that the factoring industry, the Finance Institute, and Pivot Financial can be that opportunity for you. So back in 1999, I stumbled upon an industry that was going to teach me how to broker mortgage notes and business invoices for cash. A real business, a real industry that just made perfect sense to me, because let's think about this for a second. Don't a lot of people carry mortgages? And doesn't every business create an invoice when they sell something to another business or the government? Yes or no? Yes. And here's what I also discovered over the past 18 years. Investing in yourself, investing a little time to learn a new lifelong skill, diversifying your skill set, leveraging your contacts, creating an insurance plan, insulating yourself from what could go wrong is the right thing to do, because no one can ever take it away from you. It creates freedom, it creates options, a peace of mind. So with that said, what results do you want to take away from this workshop? What results do I want to take away from this workshop? Because in the end, guys, isn't this about the results? I believe all of you are here to do a little investigating, to find out what can the factoring industry do for you? What can the Finance Institute do for you? What can Pivot Financial do for you? What can we do together to help you get you closer to your results? In 2008, I created the Finance Institute to be the premier training and support organization for non-financial people. The core mission of the Finance Institute is to make the daunting task of finding more cash flow easier for small and mid-sized businesses across North America. Fast track to today, our mission is lead generation to Pivot Financial, and we continue to deliver on this mission by providing simply the best content, the best training, and company support on this planet to an elite referral source network across North America. So during this session, you will learn 4 things from me. 1, you're going to learn why now is the single best time in history to be taking part in this lucrative multi-billion-dollar industry. 2, you'll learn how you can leverage your professional skills and business contacts to earn a substantial long-term residual income. 3, you'll learn how you can start this new career part-time without sacrificing the security of your present job. And 4, you will learn how you can gain the knowledge and the confidence to refer your first deal immediately after this workshop is over. So just pick up any newspaper or read any online publication, and you will discover article after article, post after post, comment after comment addressing the fact that banks are still not lending to businesses across this country. For many small businesses, the best bank isn't a bank at all. It's alternative financing institutions like Pivot Financial. Check out the title in the beginning of this article recently published from the Business News Daily. The title, 6 Factors That Keep You from Getting a Small Business Loan. Look at the number 1 reason: poor cash flow. A recent study by the Credit Research Foundation reveals even more shocking facts, that 82% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow. The report goes on to read that 92% of new businesses will fail in their first year due to the lack of available working capital, and 100% of all businesses will struggle from slow or no cash flow during their existence. The report goes on to say these companies cite the lack of available working capital, the tightening of cash flow, and the slowdown in customer payments as the 3 major issues that are having disastrous effects on the viability of their businesses. So what is factoring? Why is it important to a business? And why is it important to you? Companies large and small across this country every single day are delivering products or rendering services. In order to be competitive, they can't always insist their customers pay COD, cash on delivery. So in addition to providing the product or rendering the service, they issue an invoice. Now I'm sure most of you know what an invoice looks like, but let me bring to your attention an important section of this invoice indicated by this little green box right here called terms. Now, typical terms issued by vendors to their customers, typical terms issued by businesses for early payment of the invoice is 2% 10 net 30 days. What does that mean? Well, if a customer pays for their invoice within 10 days of receiving the invoice, the vendor will discount the invoice by 2%, or the customer will receive a 2% discount off the total value of the invoice. If the customer pays for their invoice after 10 days and before 30 days, the customer is required to pay for the invoice in full. Now, by listing terms on the invoice qualifies the invoice as a legal document or a short-term note. So in addition to providing the product or rendering the service, the vendor issues an invoice, and now they wait. What are they waiting for? Well, they're waiting to get paid. They're waiting to get paid 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, and even longer. Did you know that the national average for customers to pay their invoices across North America is a staggering 73 days? And here's another fact. The average small business across North America invoices between $100,000 and $500,000 each and every month and now waits to get paid. While these companies are waiting to get paid, other orders are coming in. While these companies are waiting to get paid, they have to find new ways to fill the new orders, to pay their employees, to pay their suppliers, to pay their rent, to pay for their utilities and their taxes. And did you know this vicious cycle continues to happen every single day to small, medium, and large businesses around the country? So guys, if the banks aren't lending and customers are always paying late, where does a business go to get the money that it needs on a daily basis to thrive? Small to mid-sized businesses that need the cash to thrive are turning to the concept of factoring to get the money that they need fast. Guys, take a look at these numbers. Now, the numbers aren't out yet for 2016, but at a point in time when many industries have been floundering, the factoring industry has been experiencing explosive growth. And what is super important to you and me is that all indicators continue to point to the fact that we can expect much of the same explosive growth for the unforeseen future. And here's another fact that you should know. There are over 55 million small to mid-sized businesses across North America, but less than 10% of these businesses utilize factoring because most businesses have never heard of this concept before. So what is factoring? How does it work? And how can you fit in as a professional referral source or a cash flow consultant in a part-time capacity, in a full-time capacity, in a spare-time capacity? You can set your own hours. Well, the definition of factoring goes something like this. Factoring is the purchase of business to business or business to government accounts receivable which are current or outstanding invoices for goods or services that have been rendered in the past for a discount fee. Let me repeat that for you. Factoring is the purchase of business to business or business to government accounts receivable which are current or outstanding invoices for goods or services that have been rendered in the past for a discount fee. It's important to note that factoring is not a loan. There is no interest charged, and it is similar to a cash discount that the vendor offers for early payment of the invoice. Remember the 2% 10 net 30 days that we just talked about. So how does it work? Well, there's two key disbursements associated with a factoring transaction. The first disbursement is called an advance, and the second disbursement is called a reserve. The advance takes place when the business that you referred to our organization receives up to 95% of the face value or the total value of the invoice when the invoice is purchased by the factor, or in this case, Pivot Financial. The reserve takes place when the business that you referred to us receives the balance once the customer has paid for the invoice less the discount fee or the factor's fee. Okay? Now, here's an example I prepared for you to better illustrate how factoring works. Let's say for the purposes of this example, the business that you referred to us had an invoice of $100,000. And let's say for the purposes of this example, Pivot Financial determined they were going to advance 90%. When you multiply 90% times $100,000, you can see that the business that you referred to us, that we call the client, would receive $90,000. When you subtract $90,000 away from the total value of the invoice of $100,000, you're left with $10,000 or 10%. Now, our client, the business that you referred to us, would receive this amount back minus the factor's fee once the customer has paid for the invoice. Okay? Now, guys, like I said earlier, there are over 55 million small to mid-sized businesses across North America, but less than 10% of them utilize factoring. So is the factoring industry saturated across North America? Well, on the contrary, did you know that in the UK, the United Kingdom alone, over 75% of all businesses factor? Across Europe, over 54% of all businesses factor, and these numbers are growing. Guys, can you now see why today continues to represent the single best time in history to be working in this lucrative industry, yes or no? Can you now see why all indicators continue to point to the fact that we can expect much of the same for the unforeseen future? Guys, I sure hope so. So just ask yourself this question. How many businesses do you know that provide a product or service to another business or the government? Perhaps your current employer or a company that you worked for in the past falls into this category. Now ask yourself, how many of those businesses do you think are getting stretched out for payment by their customers? How many of those businesses are getting paid in 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, and even longer? The answer is all of them. Every business has customers that are always paying late. For the accounts receivable and payable professionals in my audience right now, you know what I'm talking about when I say customers are always paying late. Because every single day across this country, accounts receivable professionals are spending their day on the phone chasing your money, chasing your customers to pay so your company has the cash it needs to make payroll, pay its suppliers, expenses, taxes, etc. For the sales and marketing professionals in my audience, you know what I'm talking about when I say customers are always paying late, because when it comes down to getting paid your commissions, most of you have to wait until your customer pays for the invoice until you get paid your commissions. And I know many times you're left waiting 45 days, 60 days, 75 days, 90 days. Imagine what it would feel like to be paid your commissions upon invoicing instead of waiting. Imagine the impact it would have on your boss, your employer, your customers, their customers, suppliers, other businesses, if you could help them find the money that they need to grow, survive, operate their businesses on a daily basis with zero conflict of interest. Maybe you're a business owner or have business contacts that are business owners, or you have business contacts that work for a company that is struggling financially and may need help. All of you could be in a position to be referring businesses to our organization immediately after this workshop is over. Providing alternative working capital solutions to small and mid-sized businesses is becoming the hottest professional consultant and referral source opportunity of this decade. And although you may have never heard about this career before, Yahoo Hot Jobs recently voted factoring among their top hottest professions as reported by Joy Victory of Payscale.com. Now, I'm not going to read this entire slide for the sake of time, but let me sum it up for you this way. There has never been a better time than right now to create another income stream by learning how to broker factoring relationships. For those of you that are thinking of taking your referral source business to another level, stepping outside of your center of influence, your contacts, etc., You will be excited to find out there are over 40 hot industries that are inherently attracted to factoring, and we can show you how to connect with them without ever having to meet with them face to face. Great news in our system, guys. We don't cold call. We don't sell. We don't knock on doors, and we don't spam. We work as a team and we succeed as a team using a simple, proven, easy to follow system that we call the FEAST process. The FEAST process stands for Find, Expose, Educate, and Support. As part of our Quick Start training, you will quickly learn how to apply this proven system. Guys, our organization has gained the reputation as the go-to organization in this industry due to this very simple process and our unparalleled company support. A proven system where we come together, to work together, to intercept, structure, fund, and manage all of your deals. With over 100 years of practicing professional industry experience, I have assembled the very best industry professionals to help me guide you and support you. We're all in this together. In a nutshell, your role is simple. Quickly learn how to find, expose, and educate qualified small to mid-sized businesses about the many benefits of factoring. Then you refer the prospect over to us, to one of our file managers at Pivot Financial, and we do everything else for you by intercepting the deal, structuring, closing, funding, and managing the file on a daily basis. We assume all the risk. Guys, we have a captive audience. Banks aren't lending. Bank loan application decline rates are reaching epidemic proportions. Customers are always paying late. 82% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow. Leads are not our issue. What I want all of you to do after this workshop is over, to concentrate on learning how to find your first deal immediately within a few days of this workshop. And then I will show you how to leverage that deal to go find more qualified prospects. Rinse and repeat the process, earn long-term income. So how do you make money? Well, let me first explain to you how factors make money. It's important that you know how we do this. Unlike a bank, a factor does not concern itself with the financial strength or the financial wherewithal of the business or the business owners. The factor makes their credit decisions based on two things: the creditworthiness of the customer, so who's paying for the invoice, and the length of time it takes for the customer to pay for the invoice. So the longer the invoice is outstanding, the more the discount fee or the factoring fee. Okay, so how do you make money? Well, to get your attention very early on in this conversation, one of the things that really got me excited about this industry over 18 years ago is something called residual income, long-term residual income. The thought of planting a seed once and then farming it over and over again, the thought of working once and getting paid over and over again should make perfect sense to all of you. As part of our organization, you can get a big chunk, a very large percentage of the gross factoring fees for the life of the factoring relationship for simply passing on a name to us. Notice I did not say net. I said gross before any operating expenses are deducted by Pivot Financial. As our referral source, you can earn 10% on all the gross factoring fees that Pivot Financial generates for the life of the factoring relationship on every deal that you refer to us. And depending on the type of company you find, you can get paid each month for up to 18 months, 36 months, 5 years, and even longer. So what does this compensation plan mean to you? Well, let's compare our compensation plan to a popular industry that we can find across the country called real estate. Guys, where you live, work, and play, how many real estate agents are in your area? I may have some real estate agents in my audience right now. So how does a real estate agent get paid? Well, let me quickly explain. A real estate agent who lists a property for sale is traditionally called the listing agent. And this listing agent is paid a one-time percentage of the home's selling price. Now, the listing agent typically offers roughly half of that one-time commission to an agent who brings a buyer into the transaction. And this one-time commission split payment between the two agents typically runs anywhere between 1 to 2.5% for both parties. Now let's compare that to the factoring industry, where you can get paid 10% each month for up to 18 months, 36 months, 5 years, and even longer. And better than that, as our referral source, you get to keep all the income compared to the real estate agent that most likely has to pay a desk fee, an office fee, contribute to marketing or promotional fees, expenses out of that one-time commission payment to their broker. So how much income can you earn? Well, quite frankly, the numbers will surprise you when I show them to you in a minute. I always remind our referral source and cash flow consultants, if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it. So before I reveal the real numbers, let's set your first goal, a measurable goal, a target, if you will. On a piece of paper, I want you to write down your answer to this question for me. How much money would you need to earn per month to make a significant difference in your life right now? How much money would you need to earn per month to make a significant difference in your life right now? Now, I want you to be honest, and I want you to be realistic with your answer, and I want you to write this number down. Let me pause for about 10 seconds so you can write your answer down, and when I resume, I will show you how close you really are to hitting your target number in this industry. Be back in 10 seconds. Okay, what I'd like to do now, guys, is share 2 real-life case studies with all of you. I think these 2 stories will help me bring some reality to the industry and the type of income you can earn. So the first case study is about Synchromesh. Now, Synchromesh is a small industrial detergent manufacturing company with monthly sales of $98,000. Synchromesh was recently awarded a large contract from a new industrial customer to supply a truckload containing 88 drums of bulk industrial laundry detergent each month for the next 12 months. Now, the total value of the purchase order each month is $88,500, almost double that of Synchromesh's current sales. Now, in order to bid on the contract to be competitive against their competitors, Synchromesh negotiated early payment supplier discounts with their suppliers, and they received special pricing on the raw materials. The special pricing was awarded under the stipulation that Synchromesh paid their suppliers in 7 days. Now, the industrial customer ended up paying for their first order in 60 days. When Synchromesh approached their customer to see if they could get paid earlier for all future orders, the customer said that they would prefer to pay in 60 days. The issue: Synchromesh must now be in a position to pay the suppliers in 7 days on all future orders, even though their new customer pays in 60 days. What is Synchromesh to do now? Well, they will have to find another way to raise the cash to pay the suppliers early, or they will have to turn down the rest of the contract because there's no profit in the transaction if they can't receive the supplier discounts. And what's worse is they'll probably lose this new customer altogether and any new orders in the future. So Synchromesh went to the bank, but they were declined for financing due to 2 reasons. 1, the bank thought they were growing too quickly, and 2, the company was only 2 years old and didn't have enough financial history to qualify for bank financing. This deal was found and referred to us by a referral source, and the transaction we structured went on to look something like this. Purchase order value each month for the new industrial customer, $88,500. The factor ended up advancing 85% for a total of $75,225, more than enough money to pay the suppliers. The factor charged a discount fee of 2.5% for every 30 days the invoice was outstanding. In this case, the customer paid their invoices in how many days? 60 days. So 2.5% for the first 30 days, plus 2.5% for the next 30 days equals 5%. 5% times $88,500, which is the total value of the invoice, equals a factor's fee of $4,425 each and every month. If you were the individual or cash flow consultant that referred this deal to us, How much would you receive? 10%. 10% times $4,425 equals a monthly residual income of $442.50. Guys, what could you do with an extra $442 coming into your household each and every month for just passing on a name? In this industry, we call these small deals. Well, guess what happened in this deal? Synchromesh realized that every time they create an invoice, they could factor it and receive immediate working capital to run their business. So they went on to factor all of their receivables, their current sales of $98,000, plus their purchase order of $88,000 from the new customer, for a total of $186,500 each month. And guess what happened to the referral sources commission? It grew to be over $932 per month, each and every month. Okay, let me quickly tell you about healthcare staffing. Now, healthcare staffing is a temporary staffing agency that provides practical and registered nurses and other healthcare providers to hospitals, labs, nursing homes, retirement homes, etc. Healthcare nurse staffing recently secured a contract to provide 50 licensed practical nurses to a healthcare organization. Healthcare staffing would pay their nurses $28 per hour, and the nurses would work a 40-hour work week. Healthcare staffing would now turn around and invoice the healthcare organization at $39 per hour for each 40-hour work week per nurse. The healthcare organization pays their invoices in 60 days. The issue, the healthcare staffing company must now be in a position to fund bi-weekly payroll, the nurse's payroll, every 2 weeks to perform on this contract. So the payroll looks something like this. $28 per hour, which is the hourly wage per nurse, times 50, the number of nurses, times 40, the hours per week for each nurse, times 2, the number of weeks in the payroll period, $112,000. Okay? Now, the invoicing looks something like this. $39 per hour, which is the hourly wage per nurse, times 50, the number of nurses, times 40, the hours per week for each nurse, times 2, the number of weeks in each payroll period, $156,000. Well, healthcare nurse staffing didn't have this type of money, nor did she even know where she was going to get $112,000 every 2 weeks to make her payroll. So she went to the bank but was declined because they didn't have any hard assets to pledge as security to obtain a loan. Think about this for a second, guys. What could they pledge as security? They rent the office space, and when you walk in through the front door of their office, you would see a small reception area. You would walk down the hall, and to the right, you'd see a small kitchen with a microwave, a small refrigerator. To the left, you'll see a few desks with computers, a phone system, a few pictures on the wall. The only inventory they have is people, nurses. You can't pledge humans as security to the bank. This deal was introduced to us by a referral source, and the transaction we structured went on to look something like this. Total value of the weekly invoicing, $78,000 times 2 weeks, $156,000. The factor ended up advancing 90% for a total of $140,400, more than enough money to pay the nurses' wages in the amount of $112,000 every 2 weeks. The factor charged a fee of just 2.25% for every 30 days the invoice was outstanding, and in this case, the healthcare organization paid their invoices in how many days? 60 days. So 2.25% for the first 30 days plus 2.25% for the next 30 days equals 4.5%. 4.5% times $156,000 equals factoring fees of $7,020 every 2 weeks. If you were the referral source that introduced this deal to us, how much would you receive? 10%. 7,020 times 10% times 2, which is the average pay periods in a month, equals residual monthly income of $1,404 each month. Guys, imagine what it would feel like to have an extra $1,404 coming into your household each and every month for simply passing on a name. In this industry, we call these bigger deals, and there's a plethora of them out there. Now, before you even ask, the average size deal that we see coming in is approximately $175,000 in receivables to be purchased per month. So guys, how many deals or businesses are you going to need to find to reach your financial goal? I bet you it's not as many as you thought, huh? So let me ask you this question. With everything that I've shared with you up to this point, and with some more practical information, some simple training, together with our unparalleled company support to guide, intercept, place, and close all of your transactions, do you think that you could find just one company that could use factoring? Just one. If so, I want you to go ahead and click the yes on the screen in front of you right now if you think that you could find just one company that could use factoring. Go ahead and do that for me right now. Of course you can. Anyone can. A matter of fact, 97% of you just said you can. You don't need to think. You don't need to recreate the wheel. You just do what we ask you to do and follow the blueprint. For those of you that answered yes, that you felt confident that you could find one deal and you're open to learning this new lifelong skill, there are 4 things you're going to need to hit the road running as our cash flow consultant referral source. 1, you're going to need some more practical and concise information. Some simple training, some tips, a script, because I can't show you everything or teach you everything during our short time together on this workshop. 2, you're going to need company support to answer any questions as you're going through the Quick Start training. You're going to need company support to answer any questions after you've completed the Quick Start training. You're also going to need company support to intercept, place, and close all of your transactions with Pivot Financial. 3, you're going to need a plan of exactly what to do first and what to do next. Guys, the holy grail of taking action in anything you do is called certainty and confidence. And here's what I know. We are all unique and we all bring something different to the table. That is why we make it a priority to speak with all of our new referral sources after you've completed the training. Coming together, guys, working together to help you transform your actions into success is another thing that makes our organization and our system special. 4, you're going to need some leads. But leads is not our issue, guys. Volume of leads is not the mission here. You will discover that our system is not about throwing mud against the wall and seeing what sticks. Our proven system is about finding your first deal, finding it fast, and then leveraging that deal to go find more qualified prospects. The statistics tell us 3 in 5 people know of a business and 1 in 5 people own a business. You don't know who your business contacts know or who they could lead you to. Like I said in the beginning, perhaps it's your current employer, present customers, former customers, future customers, suppliers. Maybe it's your own business that needs the help right now. You can see by the 2 case studies that I just shared with you that many of you are 1 to a handful of deals away from reaching your financial goal, and many of you could already be sitting on a gold mine right now, and we are here to help you mine it. So I want you to copy down our company website, www.thetfi.com, www.thetfi.com. This is the factoring industry's top-rated and only Quick Start training website. The Finance Institute is the exclusive training provider for Pivot Financial. Let me get out of the presentation and jump on the internet live with you and go to our website. 1 second, guys. Okay, here we are right now at www.thetfi.com. Now let me apologize in advance. I'm running about 5 minutes behind, so please don't be upset with me. But let me just take like 30 to 45 seconds, show you quickly around the website, and then please visit it on your own time and get to know the Finance Institute. Our online training and support system is the industry's gold standard and top-rated virtual training and support system. The very first and only professional studio-recorded virtual digital high-definition training and support platform on this planet. Using robust and cutting-edge technology, we can quickly provide you everything that you will ever need as our referral source. Practical, short, concise, and condensed information, leaving no stones unturned, with must-to-know information and step-by-step instructions showing exactly what to do first and what to do next, so you can hit the road running immediately. Now, to access the entire video lineup, I want you to scroll up here to the top right-hand side of the website. Do you see Member Login right here beside the Contact Us tab? I want you to go ahead and give it a click. And then you'll be redirected to this page. When you join, you will receive your own username and password. Simply enter your credentials to gain 24/7, 365 access to all of the short training videos from any mobile device, laptop, or computer that has an internet connection. Okay, so let me get out of here and wrap up this workshop and give you the details on how you can sign up for the Quick Start Training and Support Program. 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, here's a list of all the featured benefits that you can receive when you become a member of our Elite Cash Flow Consultant Referral Source team. When you join, you're going to receive 24/7, 365 unlimited access to the industry's top-rated HD Video Quick Start Resource Library. Information that can get you ready to hit the road running in the next 24 hours. You will also receive a copy of the Take Action Training Workbook. This is what the workbook looks like. This is a fantastic and short exercise. The answers are in the back of the book, and this workbook can also serve as your quick reference guide after you've completed the questions. As our referral source, you will also receive access to the Quick Start Library that contains some scripts, tips, techniques, your personalized client profile, and your independent cash flow consultant referral source agreement. Guys, knowing what to do is very different than doing what you know. Lead generation, learning and using, taking action, not just learning, is what our top-rated organization is all about. Guys, what would it feel like to know that anytime you had a question, you needed advice, you could reach out and interact with a seasoned industry professional that works in this industry every single day? As our referral source, you will receive Q&A member services email support and live lifetime file manager deal flow support to intercept, place, and close your transactions. As an added bonus, you will receive a 20-minute personal strategy session call. This call is scheduled on your time. Guys, like I said a few minutes ago, the holy grail of taking action in anything you do is called certainty and confidence. And here's what I know. You are all unique and bring something different to the table. During this call, we can help you develop a plan of action where you can play to your strengths. We can identify immediate opportunities to hit the road running to find your first deal fast. Then we can explain how you will leverage that deal to immediately go find more qualified prospects. Now, guys, of course, in any business you have what are called startup costs. But our organization has created this opportunity to be an extraordinary opportunity for all of you. Back in 1999, I invested $8,000 to receive my training, and I was a lead visiting instructor for companies that charged thousands of dollars for information. But guys, I realized many years ago, the real money, the smart money for me, for you, for the Finance Institute, for Pivot Financial, is in the deal flow. It's in the deal flow and not asking you to break your bank account to receive training and information. Our organization is blowing the lid off this entire industry by giving back, by offering all of you the opportunity to receive some free training and support, to help you get you closer to the results you're searching for, to help us get to the results we're searching for. Like I said earlier, we're all in this together, coming together to build a network, a community of business relationships that we can trust, working to transform actions into success. The more individuals we can quickly teach and support, the more deal flow we will see. This is a win-win system, and it can be a winning system for you if you just follow the blueprint, take advantage of our support, and take action. So with that said, I'm inviting you to join our organization by visiting this link, www.tfi.com/programs, and then enter your information to receive instant access to the Quick Start Training and Support Program. So guys, I've run way over my time here today. I've had a terrific time on this workshop, and I did my best to share as much solid and pragmatic information during our short time together. For those of you that have posted questions, you will receive the answers to your questions via email. Just watch for an email coming from the Finance Institute. So in conclusion, I hope you got extreme value out of the information and you enjoyed receiving the information as much as I did presenting it to you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join me. Goodbye for now.